This is a protective order modification request hearing, MPO DPD 25 RAW0105. This is a request that came through from Miss Serenity Franco, who is on the call with us. Otherwise, modification is not allowed. This is a no contact protective order. All right, I'm going to briefly scan through a couple things. The order was signed February 12th, expires April 14th, so a little over a month away. The protected location is in California, and it is a no contact order. We can look at that. All right, the request came through February 20th. Name is Serenity writing this letter about protective order currently in place against husband. We're parents of 2 kids. Request an order be removed. Yeah, so just to clarify, based on this request, Serenity, there's nothing in the order that's dictating where you are or your behavior. So the order states that the order somehow or moved you away from Denton, and that didn't happen. I didn't. This is the first time I'm talking with you. There's no orders on where you're supposed to be. I'll go ahead and have you unmute. If you're able to start camera also, I'll get you sworn in so we can take your testimony. If you'll raise your right hand, you swear from the testimony you give in today's hearing will be the truth. Yes?
Yes.
All right, I'll give you the floor. What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about how I want to remove the order because I'm currently staying in California with my grandma and the 2 kids. And I know there's a no contact zone, so I'm not able to go back to Texas with my husband, where we used to live together. So I was asking for it to be removed because I do feel safe in the home.
Okay. Yeah, there's nothing that keeps you from being here. So you went back to live with mom in California, is that right?
No, grandma.
Grandma, okay. All right, that's the Winding Creek Way is the address that you want to come back to?
Yes.
Okay, then why don't you just come back to that address?
Because that's where my husband lives also.
But he can find somewhere else to live. I mean, in your request to the court, we're talking about like kids missing doctor's appointments, you missing interviews, like for jobs at hospital, all of that's important. Why can't he just go find somewhere else to stay until the protective order is over? Why did he say you have to go back to, halfway across the world just because he wants to stay at that house?
No, it's because the officers on duty told me to go to a shelter and I wasn't able to stay home, which I wanted to stay home.
Nobody told you that you couldn't stay at that house.
The officers did on duty.
Okay. So we've clarified that. You can go back to that house as long as he's not there. I believe that my docket clerk has spoken with you over the phone and clarified that. I don't have her notes specifically on that. Yeah, but there's nothing that keeps you from being here in Denton. Does that fix the issue for you? The kiddos are here or you're
here with me.
Okay, yeah. So y'all could get on a plane if you wanted to today and head back this way and pick up life right where it was.
But there's no way to take it off because I want to be able to see my husband because I'm not afraid of him or nothing.
Let me read through. Yeah, on April 14th, it'll be done. Normally we can't lift protective orders. You're currently pregnant, is that right, Serenity?
No, I was not pregnant at all.
Why did the officer believe that you were? Do you know?
We were talking outside. She just assumed I was, but I never was at all. I lied.
You lied to the officer and told her that you were?
Yeah, because I felt pressured.
Madam Prosecutor, anything from the state?
You felt pressured how?
Because it was just too much officers. It should have just been one-on-one with me.
So somebody made you say you were pregnant when you weren't? I mean, I understand feeling under pressure, but so that's what you decided to make up under pressure?
Yeah.
It's okay. Mr. Perez.
I didn't have any other questions.
Thank you. Mr. Perez, I can't take your testimony unless you're on camera.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. I'll have you raise your right hand. You swear affirm the testimony you give in today's hearing will be the truth. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. What do you want to say?
Okay, I was just gonna ask something because basically the protective order was made by the Denton police. Like she never consented to a protective order. They never mentioned, hey, we're gonna do this on your husband. She never signed the paper. It was made from the Denton police. We're here today because she was contacting my father. She wants to come home. The only way she could come home, yeah, she could come to the house, but like you were saying, I would have to find somewhere else to live. And since I am out on bail, I can't really leave my address where I'm stationed here.
There's no restriction on bail.
Basically, the protective order is released. There's no releasing the protective order by any means. That's what she was requesting at first.
Right. Unless it grants her more protection. So I can include the current address that Wind
The Winding Creek Way.
Winding Creek Way. So we can include that on the protective order if needed. Like we could increase it to say, that's
Oh,
their
like more protected.
address. Yeah, the only thing I'm going to be blunt with both of you. The only thing that keeps her from being in Texas is your selfishness for not moving into a hotel or something else. So it's not the court, it's not the situation, her telling police something or police deciding to do something. It's your my guess is that we talked about this when you were in jail. I believe I was the one who arranged you on it. Is that
Yes.
that makes her go to California? It's your desire to stay in that house and not go somewhere else. Is it inconvenient? Yeah. But if you've got a wife and 2 kids halfway across the world because you won't just find somewhere else to stay for the next month, it's on you. The law doesn't allow the protective order to be to be removed. You just got to go find somewhere else to stay. Back to house, and kids get to be where they're supposed to be. I barely know you both of you. I just met Serenity. I've talked with you probably once before, so that's a lot of assumptions on my part. But that's kind of how these things work. So, not calling you a horrible person or anything like that, but there's nothing that keeps her from going back to the life that she was living before, except for you finding somewhere else to be.
Okay, I don't mind doing that at all. I never had a problem with living another.
Cool, awesome.
What was my concern was the Denton police had physically removed her from the home. She said, "I don't want to leave. I want to stay here." At the aunt's house, they said, "No, you're either gonna go."
Yeah, but I don't believe that. So there's a lot of things that Serenity said to the police that weren't true. A lot of things that she said today that I don't believe. I don't have much faith in the veracity or truth of what either you or she are telling me. I give people the benefit of the doubt all the time and take what they say for truth and close out tickets or lower bond, or I'm the most trusting judge with people who tell me the truth.
Yes,
I
sir.
assume it's
I
true
understand
even
that.
if they're lying. But this whole scenario, there's been too much back and forth and untruths and trying to twist and get my way. When you're dealing with the state officials, like you gotta tell the truth if you're going to make a statement. Obviously, you have a criminal charge that's pending. You don't have to talk to us at all. You have absolute right not to make any statements. But if we're making statements, they've got to be truthful. Most judges can kind of see through when there are issues going on. So I don't mind kind of calling that out.
Okay,
You've
that's
got to in life find moral compass that says this is the truth and I'm always going to tell the truth. Jobs, raising kids, all of that gets completely messed up if we can't find I'm always going to be, and I know with police and stuff, it's different. But if words come out of your mouth, we gotta
be the truth for sure. Understandable.
But it's perfectly fine. So that's again me saying all of those words without judging you and saying you're horrible. I'm not saying that you're a horrible person. Y'all might be great people and great parents.
I understand that. Yeah, it's really the power that the police have used because it was over a phone call. Like the mother, she doesn't speak to her mother right now because all this is going on, and so like the power of they didn't request identification from the mother. They just took whatever she said and instantly just breached the house. And
then when they got there, Serenity said, as a pregnant person, she was punched in the stomach. When those words come out, a person's mouth, and the police are there, they're going to separate the parties. They're going to provide a high level of protection for that person because a kid's at stake. When there's a baby growing in mama's belly and there's an allegation that somebody punched it, that's murder. I told you that before.
Yeah, you told me that before.
I remember our conversation now.
Yeah.
So even if she's not pregnant, right?
Or didn't get punched.
Right, or didn't get punched. So if those words come out of somebody's mouth, then the police have certain steps that they're now going to take. One is removing you from that situation and giving her lots of protection. And so that's another. If those words are said by somebody and the police are there, they're going to believe them and take action because most people don't make up a statement. They're pregnant and their baby that they're working on growing got punched. So that's where all of that came from. I'm glad. I 100% of the time want police to take as much action as they can in the city of Denton. Pregnant person claims.
Yes. For sure.
Right. I don't see an issue with, we don't have the officer here with us. He wasn't able to make it.
I was going to say, so we had requested them to lift her shirt and check for bruises. All 3 officers said there was nothing. And we had also requested them to take her to the hospital to check if she was pregnant and if the baby was okay.
I don't believe that. Yeah, any request to a police officer to go to the hospital will be honored. They'll take you to the hospital. There's never going to be a situation where where if you ask for the police to take you to the hospital, that they're not going to call for ambulance.
Okay,
So, I mean,
okay.
that might have happened, but
Yeah, that's why
100% of the time, that's
we
my
filed a
experience.
complaint on the Denton police. They instantly accusing and like not verifying any situation in a civil matter, if that makes sense. That's why. So we had, I don't know
That's
if
what
you've
a trial's
seen.
for. Yeah, that's what the
Yeah,
court case and trial's for, is she gets to testify, explain what happens, but that's later down the road.
on the statement it says that she had mentioned that she was punched in her stomach as a pregnant woman. So on the complaint, that was not true at all. That the reason why she said that because her mom called and her mom told her what to say. So that's why basically that was said by Serenity.
So we
But
have two different conflicting statements. How do we
yes,
know which one's true, right? And so police
yeah.
have to accept the one, the first one that's more serious.
Okay, I was gonna ask if you can speak with my father if you hear one couple questions, if
Is he
that's fine.
there? Yeah, if
Yes,
he's
sir.
there, yeah, jump on in.
Okay, he's right here and he's working. Let me get him.
I've already turned all my filters off in this hearing, so I might as well talk with somebody else.
Hello, how are you doing, sir? As you can see,
Hello.
I'm here working, so I
No,
wasn't
you're
able to join
fine.
the meeting. But yeah, I was just kind of we were wondering because all this whole thing is just kind of I don't know. It seems like it was blown out of context, and it was just not standard procedure with the
Anytime,
police.
anytime somebody tells police that they're pregnant and that somebody punched them in the stomach and they're crying, then the police are going to take that seriously.
Oh, I fully understand
I
that. I
don't want
agree.
them not to. So that's
I would
nothing's
agree
blown
with
out of
that.
proportion when a pregnant person gets assaulted.
Oh
So
no, absolutely, no. That part I fully understand. The what I feel as far as the way they handled everything, because when they showed up to our house here, they treated all of us like we were being hostile, and at no time were we hostile, and so it was just they just were not very cooperative. And when they left here, they took my grandkids and my daughter-in-law, and they left me no information. So we're at a loss of what's going on here. And so it just, I tried to talk to the police. They wouldn't talk to me at all. They said that I was part of the whole thing where they were taking. I said, well, wait a minute, you have no idea who even I am here. And it was just the way everything was handled. That it was just it just didn't seem right.
yeah, I was not there. I only have their testimony. They said that you blocked their way toward her. So
How so, right?
Andres' father would not allow us to get past a certain point in the hallway. Andres' father nor his son were very cooperative. I asked what happened tonight. Andres told me they were arguing.
And that's not what happened when they came here at all. And so that's why I was, I was just confused as to why they were acting this way. First of all, how would I block them from anywhere to begin with? I mean, they're police officers, right?
I don't
It
know.
was,
You were there.
it
I
was
wasn't there.
right. It was very cold outside, and and they
It
wanted
was
to take her out.
raining.
Yeah, it was raining. It was cold. It was very
And I
cold.
have no socks on and no shoes,
Yeah.
just shorts.
And I told her like, you guys can't take her outside like that. She's going to get sick. And so they became hostile with me. And so then finally
Yeah,
they
if you
took her
don't let
outside.
them, you don't let them talk with her without y'all present. That's a problem.
No. I wasn't. I didn't have a problem with that. I asked them let her get dressed because she was she was not dressed to be outside in that cold. It was dangerous. And so when they still took her outside, so I went over and I grabbed the blanket and I told the other officer, can you please at least give her a blanket out there because it is freezing out there. And so finally he said, okay, fine. And they took her blanket outside to her. So I was like, why are they acting this way? I mean, it is cold, They should know it's cold. They have jackets on, and she was in her pajamas. She was already sleeping. So that's where I had a problem with everything. The way they handled everything, they wouldn't let her really say anything, and they took her away. And I tried
They
talking to the
wouldn't let her
officers.
say anything. What's
Like
your,
in other words, when she
Because I
told them,
felt
"Hey, I don't want to go
pressured.
anywhere," they told her that's not what we're doing here. That's not what we're doing here. So I finally told them, well, if she's gonna go somewhere, let her take the car. She has a car here with the car seats. She's gonna need car seats wherever she goes in a car. I have all of that recorded because I started recording on my phone. And they were saying, well, that's not what we're doing. Well, I said, okay, well, why wouldn't you let her take the car? They said, well, they just kept saying, well, it's not that we won't let her. We're just not doing that. Well, to me, that's the same thing. It's like she needs a car wherever she's going.
your car or her car?
No, it's her car. We
Her
gave her
car.
that car for her to use. It's her car.
I wasn't there. I don't know about the car issue. They're just saying that they had consent from her to take her to Denton County Friends of the Family. Then they were going to arrange for the plane ticket, which got her back to California. So
I didn't request the friends and family. I requested to stay home or just to stay home or to a hotel. And they told me that wasn't an option.
And we didn't know about the plane ticket until her mother calls me and tells me that if we didn't buy a plane ticket for her, they were going to take her to some shelter and separate her and the kids. So I sent her money to buy the plane ticket. because of that. And so,
We had the officer here in that video because I'd like to watch it. We're beyond the scope of the purpose of the hearing, though. But
yeah, no, I understand.
lots of things don't make
Yeah, it
sense
just,
about the
that's what I
story.
mean. It just doesn't make sense to me. A lot of it, there's a lot of holes there and a lot of concern because, I mean, these are, it's my daughter-in-law and my grandkids we're speaking about here,
Why
and
hasn't your son left the house and gone to live somewhere else? I mean, and
What's
so
that?
she can come back.
Well,
Why
can you repeat that?
Why has he not gone to live somewhere else so that she can come home?
We didn't know that was an option. They told her she
Okay.
can't come, and then they haven't been able to communicate. So we've been waiting for this hearing to at least get some type of clarification and options here.
Yeah, my clerk has told her that several times, but I don't think we've ever spoken with your son. So
Okay,
there's nothing that restricts her from being at the house. He just can't be there.
then that was the question. Then, if that was the case, why wasn't she allowed to stay in the house?
She was, yeah.
They told me
So they told us
no.
no. And I have a recording of them saying that, and my son telling them she just said that she doesn't want to leave, and she says, "Sir, mind your own business." This is not what she said over here. And so we're saying, well, we just heard her say that, and we have it recorded. And so that's why I was like, this doesn't seem right. It just doesn't seem right. And I've been living here in Denton since 2020. I've never had a problem with the police at all. I work from home. My kids work from home, and for them to treat us like we're doing something here, I understand the nature of the call and why they're
Yeah,
coming
they
here.
got information that your son was doing something wrong. The information was that he punched a pregnant woman in the stomach, and so they took
Okay.
actions after
But
that.
I was never pregnant. I felt pressured and I lied that I was pregnant because my mom told me.
But the police have to take action. If they
No, I
have
understand.
somebody who tells them that they were punched in the stomach,
And normally, and I fully understandable of that. And hey, do your investigations, but that's what it is. It's an investigation, right? And so in this case, there was a judge, jury, and executioner. There was no investigation. It was a one-sided, and we were all guilty here. And that's what it felt like. And that's what that's why I felt like, wait a minute, if this is a big concern, for one, why are you not concerned with her being cold outside if you're taking care of her and you're looking out for her? That's huge because it was freezing out there. I mean, if you look at the historical records, you can see, I can pull it up and look it up, and I'll tell you how cold it was. I mean, it was cold.
And
But,
that night, he never punched me at all. Because even the officers on duty said I had no bruises and no marks at all, and I still don't till this day.
okay. I mean, you might want to consult with an attorney about filing a false police report then, Miss Franco. I'm not saying that's what's going to come of it.
right, but I mean, we have to wait until this whole thing is done because one thing can affect the other, is what I was told. I did consult an attorney. They said, well, you want to take care of this case first before you even try to follow with the complaints because we don't want to make it worse, is what I was told. So I don't know. We're just
request for protective order. I can't grant a protective order unless it provides. I hope that we've been able to clarify some things.
I mean, she's under no threat. She's free to come and go as she pleases here. She has a car seats, support, everything. So she's never been in a threat here at the house. She's never been in a threat with my son here. So I don't know why her mom didn't call me directly, but she didn't even talk to her mom, as from what I understand, that night directly. My daughter-in-law didn't speak to her mom directly that night.
At all, I didn't. It was my sister that I was talking to, and my mom overheard and overreacted and then called the police without telling me or anything. And I don't know what she said on that call, but it was
The
not
call
true.
doesn't matter. But I mean, I'm going to go back to that. Once the police they interviewed you and they found out like punching a pregnant woman, and then they're going to take action from there. So it doesn't matter what mom said. All of
I
it
understand
with the
that.
higher court later on down the road. All right. Any final questions before we conclude the hearing?
Yeah, we just basically the whole thing is they're trying to see how we can put this behind us. The kids, my daughter, they all want to come home. They haven't been able to, so we don't know what to do here.
Yeah, she is able to. Do I need to clarify that again? I've told him, she can go back to that house as long as he's not there. They can't have any communication. So it's just he needs to find somewhere else to be if she's going to stay there.
Okay, so what about how about him communication with his kids?
There's nothing that restricts his ability to talk with kids, just his ability to be around and speak with her.
Wow. Okay.
That's fine.
That's sad.
Well, I mean, if that's all we have to do, that's the only thing we can. Then yes, absolutely, we understand that, and we will abide by that.
If y'all spoke with an attorney, y'all could have gotten the clarification on that on the protective order. Just show it to the attorney, or I mean, Miss Franco's called up here, and we've tried to explain that to her. So
This is so frustrating. I just want to go home with my husband because I feel
you're able to
safe.
go home, but he can't be there. It's a no contact protective order.
I
Okay.
understand, but if
So how do we deal with that? I mean, like eventually,
When what is it, April 14th? It's just the passage of time, and then that protective order goes away.
So April 14th would mark the date when they can have contact again,
April 15th, yeah,
15th, and then he can come back home also?
correct. It expires unless she seeks a higher court protective order that would last up to 2 years. She could do that by contacting the Denton County District Attorney's Office to extend the order. But if she doesn't extend the order, then it would only be in effect until midnight on the.
Okay, so after the 15th, then the officers can't come in here and say that something else is going on or whatnot, right? In other words, they can't try to enforce it over there.
Well, I mean, if there's future, correct, this order is done. If there's
Okay.
domestic violence concerns, then the police should be called and handle that issue.
Okay. Okay.
All right,
Okay.
any final
Appreciate
questions?
you,
Oh, yeah, you're welcome.
I lied that night because I felt pressured by my mother when she had called me.
You didn't speak with your mother that night, Serenity. There's no way you could have been pressured by her. You didn't speak with
Because outside, when we were
After the fact.
outside, she called
Oh, you
me and
spoke
I felt
afterwards.
pressured to say that I lied.
after
They
the
spoke
police
after.
were there.
No, I'm saying like I felt pressured by my mother and she made me lie to the
You
police.
told me under oath that you didn't speak with your mom that night. You only spoke with your sister.
No, I'm talking about when we were outside. When my mom had called me and the
Okay.
police were outside with me, my mom told me to lie to the police that I was pregnant and that I got punched, which never happened at all. I never got punched and I never was pregnant at all.
Okay. Any final questions?
No, that's it. I mean, I would appreciate your time, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right. Thank you all.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.